Scott Drake is full of cool stuff, including this wheel display. Or I guess how a wheel's made. Tell us about this. What is this here?
These steps or samples represent a hydraulic stamping operation of 15 steps to manufacture our 65 to 67.
So every wheel you make goes through these stamping processes
Every
to make
one.
the wheel.
It starts out as a blank, then a deep draw, and they can only push the metal so far, and then before it breaks out, right?
Okay.
So they push it a little bit, and then they go to another step and do another little operation until one end forms the pocket, another end forms another little detail, another mold forms another little detail, another form cuts out the windows until we're done at the very end.
That is impressive. So we saw the 15 steps just to get it pressed.
That's correct.
Now let's see the rest of the process in building a Scott Drake styled steel wheel.
So after the hydraulic pressing, we still need to get them up here, weld this donut in place, send them back out, have the lug holes put in place, then they come in and we're about ready to do a machine operation to it.
Okay, let's show us that.
In an effort to make the most accurate wheel possible, we want to start with a almost perfect circle. There's no such thing as perfect, but we're going to try to make this almost a perfect circle. So prior to pressing this or having it chrome plated, we want that wheel to be a perfect circle. So we're going to take a surface cut on the perimeter of that insert. All right, so after the machine operation, this is the finish that we get, and we're ready to take it to the next step, which would be either lug hole stamping and chrome plating.
All right, so it's machined and it's chromed. What's next?
Next step is painting, which this is not the paint department, but for purposes of time, we're going to show you basically how we paint. So it's all chrome. We use a paint mask just like this. It's a two-part water-based epoxy paint. It sticks extremely well, and as a matter of fact, as a side story, when we make a mistake and we decide to strip the chrome off, the chrome stripper hates this paint because he can't get the paint off. The chrome comes off easier than the paint. So the paint is available in two separate colors, the early argent and charcoal. So early wheels have argent, later wheels have charcoal. This one's a charcoal wheel.
Later wheel, yep.
Yep. So,
next step, now it's painted. Where do we go next?
It's painted, now we're going to press it into a hoop.
Okay. So this is the aligning. All right, so you got a meter on it.
All right, so now to talk a little bit about the weld. We have spent a tremendous amount of money to dial in our welding equipment, use the proper gas, use the correct spacing to create what I believe to be the best welds in the industry. I mean, it is error-free, and plus we've had many of them tested and also periodically tested just to make sure
barely
we're getting...
looks welded.
I
It's
know,
so clean.
yeah.
I mean, you have to actually take a double take to see that there's a weld there.
A human cannot weld as good as that machine can weld, that's for sure.
I know I can't.
Yeah, either can I. I shake too much, but we're very proud of our welds.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Now that it's welded up, what's next?
Well, we will periodically test one to see how it's aligned. Is it proper? Does it meet the spec?
And what is your spec compared to a competitor?
Well, I can't tell you what a competitor is, but when we aligned it, we were plus or minus 10.
Okay. And that is the acceptable tolerance
The industry
for your wheel.
standard I've heard was 30, it could be up to 30,000.
Okay. So the industry will accept 30,000. Scott Drake will only accept 10.
We're trying to get to plus or minus 10, yes sir.
And if a wheel doesn't fall with that tolerance?
If it doesn't fall within that tolerance, we're not going to put it in this box.
right, so after the balancing, the wheel's ready to go in a box and ship out to, hopefully, us.
That's right to CJ's.
But I noticed in the back of the wheels, we did a video on one of your, the 64.5 wheel, actually. I noticed there's a lot of stampings on the back of your wheels. Tell us about those.
There are, just to avoid confusion in the marketplace, because some people think they're buying a Scott Drake product, but they may not be. Look for the Scott Drake name stamped right into the back donut or backing plate. We have a date of production, and we serialize every single wheel from a tracking purpose, and it's entered into a logbook at this side.
Okay, and roughly on an average day, how many wheels do you finish and box up ready to ship?
Well, I'm going to consider that proprietary.
Okay.
But I can tell you a lot.
A lot. Okay. You keep this man busy back here.
We do. That's his full-time job and a few others. So that's the wheel. It's a beautiful piece. We're really proud of it.
Get a matching Scott Drake center cap and you're all ready to go.
There you go.